Okay, y'all. Love and Hip Hop, season 5, episode 2. Full disclosure. This is actually an entertaining episode. I kind of got my life from it. Okay, so it began where it left off last week. You know, Mimi done came out to the world and she's interested in the ladies. Well, the lady boys, as we'll figure out later. And she likes what she likes. And it's all white party. Mimi was throwing a party for Chris, aka Christina. And then of course, as we know, we met Tiara and Tommy and all them last week, and all that mess and all that jazz. Um, and Carly Red Messy's ass invited Tiara, which is Scraps with the long hair, baby mothers, to the party, and Tommy was all for it because Tommy is Scrap's current girlfriend. Tommy's trying to find out if the baby mama Tiara is still messing around with Scrap. So that was that whole thing. Okay, so anyway, Tiara, she ends up coming in. She came in last episode, but of course they cut it off. So she ended up coming in, Tiara, and Jessica Dime. She wasn't really here for all the shady shit, all the messiness that was going down. But she really couldn't do anything to stop it at that point, seeing as how the girl had just showed up and everything. I personally would have warned her, like pulled her off to the side and be like, "Look, bitch, these girls trying to set you up. Like, watch your back and chill out or something." I probably would have did that, but because that was just wrong the way they did her. Um, but anyway, she came in there. She's a very pretty girl. She comes in there and sits down, and she starts to talk about how she works for a huge financial institute, and they're doing the waitressing and all that. It's just her little side gig. She got like 4 kids, so she's a hustler. She gotta do what she gotta do. And so Tommy, all of a sudden, she throws at her, when are you a mom? When are you a mom? I was like, ooh, how dare you say that? Tommy, you're not a mom at all. How dare you say that to that woman? When are you a mom? Trying to be funny. That's her little way to segue into what she really wants to talk about, which is Scrap with the long hair. So they start talking and having that moment. She was just like, "Excuse me, when am I a mom? When am I a mom? How do you know my child? Come out, cause your child is the father of the man who I'm fucking." I was like, "Oh, Scrap? Yeah, I sit on his face every night." Just a mess, and that's all you are, sweetheart. Scrap said it last episode. His own self. Tommy, that's all you are to him. It's just good sex. You'll never make it to the wife, ever. Not saying that Tiara will. She probably won't either. But I'm just saying, both of y'all is looking stupid. So anyway, they both get up. Um, Tiara throws a drink on her, and it's just ass and titties in the air, and they showing out, flying everywhere, craziness. Mimi was just like, I don't even know these girls. I don't even know who these girls are. And they fighting at Chris's party? Girl, they just met Christina. Don't nobody care, Mimi. This is love and hip hop. Get with it, all right? Okay, so moving on to the next scene. Um, we got uh Rashida and Kurt. They sit down and talk, and they're basically talking about the party. Well, Kurt didn't go. Rashida's talking about the whole party to Kurt and everything and what happened. Y'all, excuse my hair. This is an old twist out, and it kind of didn't come out right, but whatever. It's kind of working in a messy, Afrocentric type of way. But anyway, um, I can't get my words out. Ariana, not Ariana. Rashida and Kirk is talking about the whole thing. Then they get into the whole scrappy thing. Rashida tells Kirk that Mama D came in there, showed out, laid eggs, casted a spell on them, and there you go, they're cursed for life. And Kurt, he was just like, I'm just gonna take it upon myself to talk to Scrappy about this whole thing and get this whole thing hashed away, seeing as how we wasn't there for him when in his time of need. Okay, let's see. So after the whole fight, Tiara Marie, she shows up to the studio. Not Tiara Marie, Tiara, the baby mama, shows up to the studio to see Scrappy because that's what Scrappy ass was. And, so she all bruised up, her finger in a little, is all wrapped up and everything. And her arms all wrapped up. She's been injured, been fighting. She comes in there. Scrappy was just like, "Look, can y'all leave the studio?" Talking to the guys in the studio. She's just like, "So what's going down? Like, who is Tommy? Let me know who Tommy is." He was just like, she was just like, "Are you sleeping with this Tommy girl?" And he was like, "Yeah, I've had some dealings with her." "You've had some dealings with her, Scrappy? Really?" Oh my gosh. And so then she was like, "Look, have she been around my child? Have this bitch been around my child?" And he's just like, "Yeah, a few times." And she was just like, "You know what? I want to sit down and have a conversation with her. Just me, you, and her. I want you to tell her to her face what you mean to me, and you're gonna do this, because if not, I'm gonna take the child. And you ain't gonna see this child again, because I don't want my child around that bitch and this and that." Now, granted, I understand where she was coming from, because I wouldn't, somebody who I just fought wouldn't necessarily be my favorite person either. But I mean, it is what it is, girl. When I mean, just get over it. Like, when he has his time with his child on his own, away from you, you can't control who's around your child and who's not. There's obviously people that he fooled with, so I mean, you ain't got no control over that. Just like if you meet a man, or if you have friends over, whatever the case is, and it's your time with your child and Scrap ain't there, he can't control who around when when he ain't around. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it works both ways, but I mean, I get it. I understand her frustration. But of course, she's using the child as an excuse. Oh, you can't see your child no more if you stop bucking with her, and I hold you down, and this and that. Basically, Scrappy been going with two women, and he's torn between the two, and the classic story, and the women fighting over each other, and he just sitting there brushing his hair and everything, like Joe Torre on Poetic Justice. All right. So let's see. So he was just like, I got to get this whole thing together. I'm gonna talk to Tommy. Yada yada yada. All right. Mimi, Ariane, and Chris. They're talking or whatever. Chris, they are really pushing this gay thing this season. They really are. Love and hip hop. It started with Hollywood, child. They are really doing it, and not in a good way, because I feel like it's just she's using the kids, just for ratings, just because the gay thing, whole transgender thing, all that is just hot and it's popping right now. So it's just like, she's using that, bringing viewers in. Oh, we'll equal opportunity. Oh, we're not gonna judge you. Yeah, whatever, Mona. Okay, so let's see. Mimi, Ariane, Chris. Mimi is moving into her own place. She's over there. Ariane is over there helping her, and Chris is there. And apparently, Chris is not moving in. Chris is Christina, as we found out. With the old nasty swoop bang that she has, or he has. Excuse me. So they're talking and everything, and apparently, Chris' whole thing is this: he don't identify himself as a female. He does not like to be touched at all, because all that thing like breast and vagina reminds him of being female, and he don't like to be touched. So basically, he's doing Mimi and pleasuring her, I'm assuming, and I guess she's not. Uh, 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 I mean, I guess she's not. I guess Mimi's not pleasuring her at all. Maybe she just gets a kick out of Mimi's pleasure. I don't know. Apparently, she don't like to be touched. I don't. I don't feel like it should be any rules when it comes to being intimate with somebody. I really don't. There's no. I mean, just be safe, obviously. But other than that, there's no rules. Like, it's two humans banging it out. Like, just have fun. Like, intimacy has no guideline to go by. Like, well, if you're really in love with somebody, like, you y'all in love, y'all do whatever. There should be no labels and all that silly shit. But whatever. So they're talking. Ariane is asking, "Oh, do you bang her out and do you dick her down?" And Chris made a joke, was just like, "Look, that's a little rude and a little inappropriate, and I do, use one in this and that, and yada yada." I'm liking Chris so far because Chris, Ariana's kind of asking a little, personal questions or whatever. But I'm sure she was just shooting the shit, being funny. But Chris was just like, "Look, I ain't got no damn issues with Ariane or whatever, but I'll check her if I feel disrespected and this and that." So I mean, there you go. So that's that whole scene. Y'all tell me about what y'all think about that whole situation. I really don't. And they asked her, Mimi, was she a lesbian or whatever? She was just like, no, as because Chris identifies as a man, so she feels like it's still a straight relationship. But I don't think so. Um, until Chris has the whole surgery moment, I that's still a female just dressed up in men's clothing, in my opinion. Please don't be offended, folks. But I'm just saying, like, I don't get that whole thing. Like, I don't know. And Chris said herself that she does not, he does not take hormones or whatever. So it's like, I mean, I guess you don't have to take it. Whatever. It's completely up to you. But I'm just saying, like, why would you get mad if somebody identifies you as a female when that's technically what you still is? It's because you and your, just like Raven Simone. In my mind, Raven Simone feels like she's white. She feels like she's a rich middle-aged white woman in her mind. I feel like in my mind that's how Raven Simone's feels. Okay, with an S, Raven Simone's. You heard me. So I mean that's in her mind. It's all in her mind. She thinks whatever people say, whatever people can think, however they want to think. But you need to also just accept and recognize who you are at the current moment. you know, Recognizing the fact and accept and understand what other people see. Other people is not in your mind, right? Raven, you're not a rich white woman. Sorry about it. Not on the outside. That's not what we see. It's people. You feel me? I don't know. I hope y'all got that. I'm all y'all know me by now. Me and my hair. All right, and my randomness. But anyway, let's see. Moving on. We meet D Smith. D Smith is a transgender artist. Who's worked with people like Polo Don, Lil Wayne. Like produced Carrie Hilson's whole first album and everything, which was a dope album. So she's dope. And D Smith is a year transitioning from male to female. So she's actually going through the whole process and everything. And the bitch face is beat. And I like that Bob. I remember seeing D Smith on Out in Hip Hop on VH1. So yeah, child like a belch. Don't y'all hate when you belch and then it stank and it like kind of burns a little bit? Belching moments. All right. That ain't hot, right? Okay, so anyway, D Smith is walking in this whole runway show for her friend. And Bambi was also one of the girls that was walking in the show. Mimi, Tammy, and Rashida, they showed up um, and had their whole moment and talked for the whole fashion show and everything. And there you go. And Tammy was definitely looking at this whole D Smith girl, and she was just like, "Wow, she's fierce and whatever. I want to use her as one of my models, yada yada yada, for whatever big booty clothing line she's coming out with." Okay, so she was just like she feels like she looks like Grace Jones. I agree. I definitely get that whole Grace Jones thing from D Smith. Um, okay, yeah, that was that whole moment. They sit down and talk. Tammy was just like, "Look, I think that I'm very much so gonna invite her to be one of my models. I'm gonna get her information, yada yada." In the meantime, we meet Betty Idol. Betty Idol is this Colombian and black chick. Um, and she's an artist as well. Apparently, she can sing and all this good stuff. And Betty Idol and D Smith are best friends. Um, Betty Idol and D Smith are sitting down talking in the car, and D Smith was just like, "Look, where was you at? Like you weren't out there supporting me or whatever." Betty Idol was just like, "Look, I had to dip out the room or whatever because that heifer Bambi, the Bambi, is modeling in the fashion show, and the Bambi, um, me and her kind of got an issue or whatever. Or she thinks they have an issue because Betty Idol is messing around with Scrappy now, and Scrappy and Bambi is in this weird place. They're off right now, but they're off and on and off. Same thing with Erica and Scrappy. Scrappy's just whatever. Scrappy is Scrappy. These men on the show, I tell you. All right. So they're talking, and Betty Idol was just like, another reason why I skipped out, Sister Girl, is that I have an issue with Tammy because of her husband, Walker Flocka. He kind of made some comments in the interview about transgender people, and all this stuff, and I really didn't appreciate his comments, and it wasn't right. And, they kind of left a bug in D Smith's head or whatever about Tammy, because about Walker and Tammy as a whole, because in her mind she feels like maybe Tammy feels the same way as her husband. If her husband made these comments, does she feel the same way as her husband? Whatever. We're gonna get back to them in a minute. Okay, so Tommy and Scrappy meet up. No, Tommy and Scrappy's mother meet up. One of the long lost Clark sisters. She still got no. She had black hair, and she looked a whole lot better than that red K Michelle can't raise a man hair that she had in. It looked great on K Michelle, but not her ass. That fire engine red, that Disney Channel. Y'all remember that Princess Brave with the red uncontrollable hair? One of the newer Disney princesses that came out of like 2011, 2009, something like that. Just uncontrollable. But anyway, um, Tommy and the Clark sister, Scrappy's mama, Scrappy with long hair, they're friends, and so she wanted to talk about the whole thing that happened with Tierra, the baby mother. Um, a Clark sister, her issue with Tiara is that she feels like she's sick of her being around her son and this and that, and she just taking her son and molesting him or whatever the hell. These mamas kill me taking up for they hoish ass, spoiled ass, wretched ass, you know, just wild ass kids, their sons. It's craziness. Like it's the fool. But anyway, they're friends, and um a Clark sister, she don't like um what's her name? She don't like Tiara, the baby mama, because apparently Tiara ratted her out a while back. Something happened as to how her and her boys, Scrappy and his brother, um they got into this thing where they thought they tried to kill his stepdaddy or somebody's daddy or something, and you know, apparently it wasn't true or it was true, and she was on the run. She kind of took the blame for her kids, and apparently Tiara told the cops where she was or whatever, that she was on the run like Beyonce them, and then she got turned in. She did her time, and now she's out. And I don't know. The shit was just stupid and confusing. Like, I wonder if I'm kin to them though. They call it their last name the King family. My name Chase King, so I wonder if I'm kin to them. I might be, child. I'm about to tell her about that red hair though, if we can, if we ever meet at a family reunion, cause that's the fool. But anyway, so they have that whole moment. Tommy explains the story. She's just so proud to sit on his face. She says it again. She was just like, "Oh, how you know him?" And yada yada. I sit on his face every night. That's my man. Yada yada. And I know your son. Yada yada. And she describes the whole thing, and basically Clark's sister, she want her to go back into um to start some more drama with the girl and find out some more information and stuff. And she was just Tommy was just like, you always got me doing something, but she gonna do it like a fool. You know, I'm not really fond of women fighting over men. Period. Especially when they both can play. When he telling both of them two different things, obviously. But for whatever reason, I'm liking Tierra a little bit more than I'm liking Tommy. Tommy's just a hood rat and a puppet, and you know, a little ticky ticky boom. I mean, 32 mug shots for real. Damn. I mean, you didn't learn your lesson after the first three. Damn. You had to go get 20 plus more. I don't know. All right. So let's see. So we meet with Kurt. No, Kurt goes to Scrappy's event to confront Mama D and Scrappy about the whole thing and what happened and why him and boss chick Rashida went there and whatever. Kurt was just like, Mama D, why did you go to press and show out and lay eggs and stuff? And Mama D just looking. She was just like, I had to do what I had to do. Scrappy was just like, Mom, I told you not to do this. I handled this, shouting and all this. And Kurt was just like, oh, you didn't send her over there? Scrappy was just like, hell no, I ain't send her over there. I told her not to. Mama D was just like, I breathed. And then they was just like, shut up, Mama D. Take it back. She was finna start that royalty shit again. Mama D is my everything on the show. Every time I need a good laugh, I go to her Vampire in Brooklyn looking ass. Don't Mama D look like Vampire in Brooklyn, Eddie Murphy? Especially in the I Deserve video. I deserve. I deserve. She was handing out fish plates. I could a mess. All right, let's see. Okay, so Tammy meets up with D Smith. They're talking, she said that she's a year transitioning and all that stuff and there you go, this and that. And Tammy's just like, I don't care. She brings up the whole Waka Flocka interview and all that. And she was just like, that's, how he feels is how he feels. And, but he's really a nice person. He was speaking on the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing and how people are kind of blowing it up out of proportion and doing the whole thing. I didn't see the interview. But, I mean, it is what it is. All right. So Tammy is cool. She still wants to work with her. Tammy is really cute in the face. Tammy looks like a little chipmunk. Cause she got that little chubby face. She got the cheeks. Oh, I want to bite her. Tammy's so cute. Okay, so let's see. So Scrap, he goes over to Tommy's place. Before he could even ring the doorbell or knock on the door, Tammy talking about, who the hell is it? I hollered. So he opens the door and he hands her the flower. She throws it on the ground, all upset, all front, and she goes around to her sink, acting like she washing dishes. Well, nothing in the sink, nothing. Cause she probably don't cook. So, anyway, she washing out her glass or whatever, and she talking and she was just like, "I'm sick of you scrapping out. You cannot play me. I'm not a puppet." And yes, you are. If you're not a puppy for Scrap, if you're not a puppet for Scrap, you're a puppet for his mama. Okay, Can't Raise a Man remix, senior edition. Like, I mean, hell, he's already grown. What you gonna do? Cause he wasn't raised right before you. I love that song. Shout out to K Michelle. She follows me on Twitter. Yay. All right. So anyway, she drops the flow and he basically was like, I'm telling you the truth and this and that, and I had to tell her, and she was just like, well, I want you to go. And so he starts to walk off, and somehow or another she switches and she starts crying and getting upset, and she hugs him, and she was just like, well, let me walk you out before you go. And It was fucking weird. I was like, what is wrong with her? But she was just like, he was just like, I know Tommy a little crazy. And that's what I like about her. I guess better your problem than ours. She is a little crazy. She actually like Loki turns into a little animal when she gets mad. You also have scenes in the next episode. Her face starts when she turns into like some kind of like demon or something. Tommy crazy. You got to be crazy at 32 mugshots. Like, come on. Like, okay. I think I pretty much learned my lesson after five. I think so. I think I got this now. So you gonna keep going? How does that work, Jesus? I don't know. But anyway, they're talking and yada yada, and Scrap just mainly buttering Tommy up and want to kiss her ass because he don't want Tierra to take the child away from him. He still want to continue to see his child, his little boy. So that whole thing, a mess. Okay, I think I talked about everything. So we meets up with Betty Idol, who's so bougie. She's really cute too. We meet up with Betty Idol and D Smith, very fierce. Um, and Tammy Rivera, Coochie Coo. And they meet up and talking or whatever, and they're having a little moment. They're kind of nice to each other, yada yada yada. Tammy invites the girls to Men's Magazine. Black Men's Magazine is honoring her, and she really made it a point to invite D. Smith so that he can so that she can meet Waka and realize he's a nice person, not judgmental, yada yada yada. This and that. I actually think Waka Flocka is a cool person. I think he's a little slow. Other than that, I think he's a cool person. But my opinion might change. I didn't see the interview. Whatever, I have the right to change my mind. I'm only human. So they're talking and having their moment, and all of a sudden, Betty Idol, she brings up the whole interview thing, and I really didn't like his comments and this and that. Tam was just like, "Oh, you didn't like his comments," and I saw another interview where he kind of backtracked. She was just like, "No, he still has his opinions. He stands firm in his shade and walking his talk." Um, but it is what it is. He's not a bad person or anything, yada yada. Betty, I keep wanting to say Betty White. Betty Idol is very much so just still rubbing it in her face, just talking shit, talking shit, talking shit left and right. It kind of gets escalated, and she goes on talking about Tammy's relevancy. You're not relevant. What have you done for the world? Tammy was like, I'm an entrepreneur and I was at home raising a child. What the hell was you doing? And this and that. They start talking and arguing, and Betty was just like, you know what? You're only famous because of your husband and this and that. Um, all of a sudden, Tammy throws a drink in Betty's face, and it cut off right there. So the next episode is gonna be crazy. I'm reading up on the Betty girl a little bit online. A lot of people don't like her, but she's getting paid like 100,000 an episode or something like that, allegedly, according to the source I was looking at. So she's drama. She's with Scrappy. I saw in the next episode, Bambi was just like, "You can't possibly be fucking with somebody. We would never get back together if you fuck with somebody who had a fight with one of my best friends. Like that would never happen." Bambi's very loyal. Like a deer. Get it? Okay. They're all not funny. So they have that moment, and it was just crazy. That Betty Idol is a bougie little thing. She's cute though. She's super cute. She looks like Betty Idol looks like um on the game. Y'all remember the game? Jason's daughter, as she grew up and became a teenager and an adult, Brittany. That's what she looks like a little bit to me. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed my review, y'all. I'm Mr. Chalaki, Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at ITSKINGWORLD on Twitter. Chase Games there on Facebook. at It's King's World on Instagram and at It's King's World 89 on Snapchat. So y'all follow me. See y'all later. Y'all tell me about this foolishness. Bye.